So today my occupation, we are going to be looking at one yoga pose, and we are going to be dealing with the disorder called ALS, that is also known as amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. And within that disorder, it affects the brain and the spinal cord, just to give you a little background information on it. And it pretty much messes with the muscles, and you can't voluntarily move them. Within this disorder, it comes with between 4 different stages. I am looking at the first 2 stages. So the first stage, their pain is very limited and their endurance decreases. And then when we get to the second stage, there's muscle imbalance and just the functional of their muscles decreases. So today we're going to be looking at 2 different exercises that I came up with to kind of improve the endurance and other things of that sort. And I have all this information listed on my handout too if you wanted to take a look at that. So this first exercise that I have involves passing a 6-pound medicine ball back and forth with the worker. It does not necessarily need to be a 6 pound. That is just what I had, so we made use of it. This exercise is to improve stability, endurance, coordination, and also arm and core strength. It is a great exercise for somebody who are in the beginning stages of ALS. So this next exercise is the patient will be standing independently with a lightly weighted bar rotating left to right. This is to improve stability, endurance, and also arm and core strength. Onto my actual occupation with the yoga pose. The first thing that we are going to be looking at is yoga without the compensation. So the first thing that you need to do is start on knees, put your elbows to the ground, and then use your core strength to lift the legs up into the air, and then after you're up there and stable, you start to bend down. The skills needed to do this yoga pose are stability, endurance, arm strength, core strength, and also coordination. Moving on to the yoga pose with the compensation, the instructions will be the same as before, just this time we will be using the wall to compensate for the core strength of trying to keep the legs stable. Afterwards, you will bend down just as we did before. I decided to use the wall to compensate for this yoga pose for the individual with ALS simply because it is hard to adapt a yoga pose. So that way I was trying to think of a way to make it easier, and then the wall made that possible. ALS is a very harmful disorder and it affects all the client factors. 2 of the main client factors that it affects are the body functions and the body structures. As I previously said at the beginning of this video, the muscles, it becomes an imbalance, people can't make voluntary movements, so it is very clear as to why those are affected. I included the other reasons as to how the other client factors are affected in my handout, so if you wanted to take a look at that, you're more than welcome to. You can see I included my handout on ALS. Within the handout, I discuss what the disorder is, the client factors affected, skills related to yoga, and then the activities to improve the aspects that are needed to within 2 different exercises. And then on the right side of the handout, you can see that I describe the instructions of how to do yoga with the compensation and also without.